Hi guys, welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. This is another Manchester United transfer talk, and it is official. Diogo Dalot is a Manchester United player. A £19 million deal has been completed for the young Portuguese under-21 international. He played in the first team for Porto this season, joined United in a £19 million deal on a 5-year contract with the option for an extra year as well. We see that in many deals that Manchester United do, always adding that option for an extra year in case we get to the end and we're in contract negotiations still. But nevertheless, it's a very good deal for Manchester United when you take into consideration all things about the player, his age, his potential, and of course the price as well, because in this day and age, £19 million for an under-21 international that's played first team football in the Champions League is pretty cheap, and will help by the fact that the player did have a release clause in his contract. So it's official. Dalot is a red. Get your thoughts in the comments below right about now. I'll be reading as many of them out there as possible. Obviously, we're still waiting on that official Fred announcement. That should be coming anytime soon. Will it come today? Will it come tomorrow? Will United try and spread it out over the week? We don't know at this moment in time. But as it is, the only official announcement, the only player we've seen in a red shirt yet is Diogo Dalot. He's been speaking about signing for Manchester United as well, and he's come out with the usual things you expect to hear. He couldn't resist turning down a big club like Manchester United, the best in the world, he said, or the biggest in the world. And coming from Porto to Manchester United is a big leap for him as well. Of course he's played Champions League, of course he's played in the Premier League, but it's still a very big leap for him. Anyway, before we get further into this video, make sure you're hitting that like button, make sure you're subscribing to AdamMcKola TV, and make sure you're downloading that OneFootball app as well. The OneFootball app link is in the description below. It's a free app. It's available on Android and Apple. You can get it for absolutely free, and you get all your transfer rumours, transfer news, goals updates, team news updates when the matches are on, loads of stuff on there. You can set your favourite teams as well, so you get updates and stuff. Go and check it out. But right now, let's dive into the comments. Diogo Dalot is a red. We've been speaking about it a little bit already. We got Cillian is in the comments saying Diogo Dalot is sick in career mode, so I guess that's a good start. What about Fosu Mensah says buttons? A lot of people are asking about that, although Vishnu says he wants to see more of Fosu in a central area. A little competition can't hurt Fosu Mensah, says West Marshall. Adam says like and subscribe. Thank you very much, mate. We've got Ben says, do you still think we have enough budget for a world-class signing? Has the signing so far made you think the board is fully backing the manager? What the club may do, mate, is we may target people like Diogo Dalot, Fred, players that we know we can get wrapped up early. Fred's going to the World Cup. Apparently that's wrapped up already. We're waiting for the pictures to get released. So with that being said, if we can get 2 signings done, it takes the pressure off for the rest of the window, and then we can go and get, let's say, the bigger signings done if there are any there. I don't think we need to be making these big statement signings though this summer. We need to make signings that are going to fit into the team, that are going to help us achieve what we want to achieve, that are going to give the platform for some of the very big players that we already have in the team that aren't performing consistently or performing to the highest level. Giving them that platform to be able to do that. Doing it with the likes of Dalot, doing it with the likes of Fred, if we bring in another fullback, if we bring in another central midfielder, would allow those forward players to flourish a little bit more, I think. And it would give Paul Pogba a little bit of a easier ride as well, in terms of being the onus on Pogba being, you create things for us as well. So I think the signings can help our already big players improve. I don't think we need these showpiece signings this summer. Of course, if we get a Gareth Bale to occupy that right wing, it'd be great. But do we need these big, huge signings? I'm not too sure. You hear about us as well, though. Something that was interesting to me is we've gotten Dalot for around whatever 19 million or whatever it is. Fred for 47 million. So let's add those two together. You got around 66 million. So let's say 66 million pounds has been spent. United, let's say we will spend 200 million this season. That means we've already got 130 odd million left. So there's links with us with Clement Lenglet, who I think is a top talent as well, playing for Sevilla at the moment. He's got a release clause, which is around £30 million, I believe, £35 million. If we meet that, we've got a centre half, a fullback, and a central midfielder for £100 million. and it still leaves a lot of budget left there to mess around with and play with. Obviously, I'm not saying our budget is £200 million. I don't know what it is, but when you look at what we've spent over the last couple of summers, it's reasonable to believe it would be around that mark. What if Savic and Fred are announced together, says Hernan. He can play both right and left side, says Dinesh. Yes, that's correct. He's not just the right back. He can play at left back too, which is interesting because somebody that can play at right back and left back and that is leaving Manchester United looks like being Matteo Darmian. This chap could be Matteo Darmian's direct replacement. And it's a bit of a... Obviously, Darmian may be a bit more experienced, but he's expired at Manchester United. There's not much hope left for him here. This lad coming in is someone that has that enthusiasm, has that hope, has that potential to build on, has something to work with, can get better, can improve. And I think it's a good signing, good money as well. I'm not going to say he's amazing. I'm not seeing him week in, week out. But from what I hear, from even what Jose Mourinho says about him, from what the little bits I have seen of him, he's a pretty good player. And if he can take to the Premier League, if he can adapt, if he can settle to the club, and if he can fulfill his potential, then we've got a pretty good fullback on our hands. Jose Mourinho said Diogo is an extremely talented young defender with all the qualities to quickly become a great player for this club. He has all the attributes that a fullback needs: physicality, tactical intelligence, and technical quality, combined with a Porto academy mentality, which prepares players for the maturity they need at the professional level. In his age group, he's the best fullback in Europe, and we all believe he has a bright future ahead of him at Manchester United. On the other side of that, Diogo Dalot said, joining Manchester United is an unbelievable opportunity for me. I've grown up in Porto's academy and I'm so thankful for everything they have done for me. But the chance of coming to the biggest club in the world is something I just couldn't turn down. I'm excited about working with Jose Mourinho and learning everything I can from a successful coach. I'm looking forward to playing alongside the fantastic players in this squad. That is Diogo Dalot's thoughts on this one. Zidane, the next United manager after a year long hiatus, says Kylian, looks like he's going to Qatar or something like that. McKola, Dalot is a good signing, but what about Tierney, the left back from Celtic, says Haroon. I'll say the same things I've said about him before. Whilst he does look very good and he looks like he's got potential, can never quite tell with someone playing in the SBL. So whilst it would be a good signing, them guys are looking to demand big money. Is he worth that at this moment in time? Probably not. Do we finally get to see Pogba in a free role with Fred coming in, says the Blaster 110. Hopefully Fred will be able to help Matic a little bit more in his defensive role and therefore freeing up Paul Pogba. Could Dalot go out on loan? Matt says, I don't think so. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't think so. He wouldn't come from Porto where he's going to get first team football week in, week out to Manchester United to then go out on loan to a team that probably wouldn't be as big as Porto. And we could have just probably included that in the deal. A year on loan at Porto and we sign him. We didn't. So it looks like, to me, from the outside looking in, that we are trying to keep him in the squad this time. We need another 3 to 4 players to fill the gaps as Dinesh. I think that's a reasonable target. And if you think one of those players is Fred, then I'd say another 2 or 3. Depends who goes as well. Victor Simeonov says, Adam, what are your thoughts on Fred? I did a video on Fred yesterday, which you can go and check out, where I gave my thoughts on that one quite a lot. But I think, like, again, I haven't seen loads of Fred. You know what I mean? I've seen him in the Champions League. I've seen a few games of his for Shakhtar Donetsk. But I haven't seen an awful lot of him to be able to say, he's going to be amazing, he's going to be that guy, he's the man to make us great again. I can't say that, but what I will say is the tools that he has in his locker, the things that he can do is what we need. If he can apply that to Manchester United, if he can make that step up, then happy days. It's nice to see us sign Diogo Dalot though, and not up to buy some old fullback or some washed up geezer or some squad player that isn't really gonna make a name. We've bought someone for a shrewd sum, £19 million. Look, if he doesn't succeed at United in a couple of years, we can probably sell him and recoup most of that. So it's not a bad bit of business with the transfer fee. Got him tied down to a long-term deal. He was targeted by Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. Played in the Champions League. Played first-team football. Got a league medal under his belt. He's a very good player. Let's see if he can develop that at Manchester United. Let's not put too much pressure on him. Let's not break him before he's begun. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jose Mourinho with some players has heavily criticised them after a poor performance. You can't break this lad when he has a bad game. You can't break this lad when he's, you know, we need to be careful with him. We need to give him time. We need to give him a chance to develop, become the player and fulfill his potential. We won't do that by rushing him and by getting on his case all the time and by expecting him to be amazing first game. That's not the case. He's a 19-year-old boy. He's coming from a foreign country to a new country. He's not going to know the first language. It's not his first language. It's an unusual city to him. He's got new teammates. He's probably going to be a little bit overawed by it all. You know, a new manager. Things are going to be difficult for him. So let's just give him time. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get to see him, you know, playing consistently until later in the year or something, later in the season, because we need to give him time. And let's do that. Darius says Toby next. It's interesting because a lot of the reports have said we're not in discussions for Toby, and then you hear this talk about Clement Lenglet. Imagine if we weren't to go for Toby Alderweireld because of the potential fee, and we just went for someone like Lenglet that could, you know, that could come in, shrewd a signing. He's quite young. He's not Premier League proven. He's not guaranteed, you know, to be a world-class star in the Premier League, but he's probably more of a shrewder transfer fee. Would improve at Manchester United. I think he's better than what we have at the moment. It's an interesting one. Probably not better than Bailly, but, you know. Andre says get Lenglet and Sandro in now. Totally real, says Marouane Fellaini. Maradona Fellaini. Do you think that Jones or Smalling being sold so we can buy better centre back? Hopefully Smalling will leave. I don't mean that in a vicious or malicious way. In a purely football intent, I would get rid of Smalling and bring someone else in at centre half. What about David Luiz? Not for me, mate. What about Varane? I wouldn't mind Varane. Tottenham in advanced talks for Martial? No, they're not. Who said that? Who said that? DiMarzio said today he doesn't think Martial's leaving. He did say he don't think so, but he did say he don't think he's leaving. And I'm sure if Martial was in talks with someone, he wouldn't have said that at this time. So guys, that has been the quick stream on Diogo Dalot becoming a Manchester United player. It is now official. What are your thoughts on Diogo becoming a Red? Get your comments in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts. Hit that like button. Download the OneFootball app. Subscribe to AdamMcKola TV as well. How many new subscribers have we had? I think we've had about 6 new subscribers while we've been on. So thank you very much to you new subscribers as well. Keep it locked. Yeah. And that's it. We've got our first official summer signing. It's Diogo Dalot. Fred is likely to be next. When will that be announced? Will I be back live later on today? Who knows? Get your comments in the comments below. Make sure you keep it locked to AdamMcKola TV. And for now, guys, I have been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.